Do you start your morning with coffee and toast? Enjoy an espresso with cake after lunch? As someone who absolutely loves coffee, what I'm about to tell you today might shock you. The foods we casually eat with our daily coffee could be slowly damaging our health. According to a 2023 study from Harvard Medical School, when coffee is consumed with certain foods, nutrient absorption can drop by up to 80%. Even more alarming, these wrong combinations can lead not only to digestive issues, but also to anemia, osteoporosis, and even chronic fatigue in the long run. With over 2.5 billion cups of coffee consumed worldwide each day, how many people are drinking coffee with these dangerous combinations? You know that feeling, right? After breakfast and coffee, your stomach feels bloated and uncomfortable. After lunch coffee, you feel even more tired instead of energized. It might not just be the coffee. The problem could be what you ate with it. I didn't know this myself until a few years ago. Every morning I had cereal with my latte and enjoyed dessert with Americano after lunch. When I visited the doctor for persistent fatigue and indigestion, they asked detailed questions about my eating habits and told me the combination of coffee and food might be the issue. That's when I started researching and discovered truly shocking facts. So what foods should never be consumed with coffee? And why are they dangerous? Let me explain with scientific evidence. Stay until the end and I'll share the right way to drink coffee that you can start practicing today. First on the list is dairy products. Milk, cheese, yogurt. Many people enjoy cafe lattes, but this can actually be quite problematic. According to 2022 research from the University of Copenhagen in Denmark, when coffee's tannins bind with milk's calcium, calcium absorption drops by a whopping 65%. Particularly for women, the risk of decreased bone density increases. In a study of 200 postmenopausal women, those who drank coffee with milk daily had a 43% higher rate of osteoporosis. But there's an even more serious problem. When casein protein in dairy meets chlorogenic acid in coffee, it forms a complex that's very difficult to digest. This burdens the stomach and causes heartburn and bloating. When 150 gastritis patients were surveyed, over 80% had the habit of adding milk to their coffee. Second is iron-rich foods. Spinach, red meat, liver, legumes. Those with anemia must pay special attention. Research from King's College London shows that consuming coffee with iron-rich meals can reduce iron absorption by up to 80%. Coffee's polyphenols bind with iron and block absorption in the body. Non-heme iron, the plant-based kind, already has low absorption rates, but with coffee it's barely absorbed at all. In a study of 300 vegetarians, 73% of those drinking coffee immediately after meals showed iron deficiency anemia symptoms. Meanwhile, only 18% of those waiting 2 hours after meals before coffee showed anemia symptoms. Third is grains and breads. Many people have toast or bagels with coffee for breakfast, myself included in the past, but research from Tokyo University's nutrition department shows this combination rapidly spikes blood sugar. Coffee's caffeine temporarily increases insulin resistance, and when refined carbohydrates are added, blood sugar spikes occur. When 180 participants ate bread with coffee, blood sugar rose 38% higher on average. 2 hours later it dropped sharply, causing extreme hunger and fatigue. This is exactly why you feel hungry before lunch, even after having toast and coffee for breakfast. The long-term impact is even more alarming. People maintaining this eating habit for over 5 years showed a 52% increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, especially when coffee and bread are consumed on an empty stomach. Excessive gastric acid secretion can damage the stomach lining. Fourth is zinc-rich foods. Oysters, shrimp, pumpkin seeds, nuts. Zinc is essential for immune function and cell regeneration. Research from Johns Hopkins University shows that consuming these with coffee reduces zinc absorption by an average of 50%. Coffee's tannins form chelate complexes, with zinc that cannot be absorbed in the intestines and are simply excreted. For men especially, zinc deficiency directly affects reproductive function and prostate health, requiring extra caution. When 250 patients complaining of chronic fatigue were surveyed, 68% had the habit of drinking coffee with meals, and most showed zinc levels below normal. Since zinc plays a crucial role in energy metabolism, deficiency inevitably leads to chronic fatigue and lethargy. Fifth is sugary desserts, cakes, cookies, chocolate. Many people enjoy sweet desserts with coffee, but this is actually one of the worst combinations. According to 2023 research from Sweden's Karolinska Institute, when coffee's caffeine meets refined sugar, cortisol or stress hormone secretion increases by a staggering 280%. This doesn't just raise stress levels, it can cause blood pressure elevation, increased heart rate, anxiety, and even adrenal fatigue long term. When participants ate cake with coffee, blood pressure rose an average of 18 millimeters of mercury after 30 minutes, and heart rate increased by 22 beats per minute. More seriously, this combination creates addiction. Caffeine and sugar simultaneously stimulate the brain's reward circuit, sharply increasing dopamine release. This makes you constantly crave sweets and coffee. A vicious cycle begins with blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, and cravings from low blood sugar again. Repeated cycles led to weight gain and increased metabolic disease risk. Sixth is tomatoes and acidic fruits, oranges, grapefruits, lemons. Do you have fresh fruit juice with morning coffee? A research team from Berlin's Charité University Hospital made an interesting discovery. When coffee's acidity meets fruit acidity, excessive gastric acid secretion occurs, increasing gastritis and reflux esophagitis risk by 75%. Especially on an empty stomach, this combination can damage the gastric mucosa. When 320 gastritis patients were surveyed, 82% had the habit of eating acidic foods with coffee in the morning. Tomatoes are the same. When tomatoes' citric acid meets coffee's chlorogenic acid, it causes heartburn and indigestion. Seventh is alcohol. Many people have wine with dinner and coffee during dessert time, right? According to liver disease researchers at Paris Sorbonne University, consuming alcohol and coffee within 4 hours places enormous burden on the liver. Both substances must be metabolized in the liver, and processing them simultaneously overloads liver enzymes. In experiments, groups drinking coffee within 2 hours of alcohol consumption showed liver values rising an average of 45%. Hangover symptoms were also much worse. Many people drink strong coffee for hangover relief the next day, but this can actually be harmful. Caffeine worsens dehydration and increases headaches and nausea. Eighth is cold foods and ice cream. Especially in summer, many people enjoy ice cream with iced Americano. Research from Beijing Medical University's gastroenterology team shows that consuming cold food and cold coffee simultaneously sharply decreases gastrointestinal motility. Normal digestion is disrupted, causing abdominal pain, diarrhea, and indigestion. When 160 participants ate ice cream with iced coffee, 56% complained of abdominal discomfort within 30 minutes. Those with irritable bowel syndrome had even worse symptoms. Cold temperatures reduce gastrointestinal blood flow, and when caffeine stimulation is added, intestinal spasms can occur. Ninth is processed meats, bacon, sausage, ham. Do you enjoy brunch with bacon and coffee? A cardiovascular research team from the University of Toronto made a shocking discovery. When nitrites in processed meat meet polyphenols in coffee, vascular endothelial function sharply declines. In experiments with 140 healthy adults, groups eating processed meat with coffee showed a 32% average decrease in vascular dilation capacity. Endothelial dysfunction is the starting point for arteriosclerosis and cardiovascular disease. Maintaining this eating habit long-term can increase heart attack and stroke risk. 10th and finally is medications, especially thyroid medication, osteoporosis drugs, iron supplements, antibiotics. Many people habitually take morning medication with coffee, but this can be truly dangerous. According to drug interaction researchers at Mayo Clinic, coffee can reduce absorption of certain medications by up to 90%, particularly levothyroxine, a thyroid hormone medication, shows almost no effectiveness when taken with coffee. When 280 thyroid patients were surveyed, groups taking medication with coffee did not normalize hormone levels. At least 1 hour interval before consumption is necessary. So when and how should you drink coffee? Let me share practical methods you can actually implement. The most important principle is not drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Especially avoid it right after waking up. Cortisol levels naturally rise after waking, and adding caffeine causes excessive stress hormone secretion. Wait at least 1 to 2 hours after waking. Timing with meals matters too. Rather than right before or after eating, wait at least 1 to 2 hours. Especially after iron or calcium-rich meals, waiting over 2 hours is best. This way you can enjoy coffee without interfering with nutrient absorption. I support your healthy days. Enjoy coffee wisely and live a more vibrant life. Share your experiences in the comments. What changes did you notice? What difficulties did you face? Sharing helps us all. Let's create a healthy coffee culture together. Have a healthy and happy day. Thank you.